Folks, in this video, I want to take a look at some of the top targets that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could still consider in day number 2, rounds 2 and 3 of the upcoming NFL draft. As I've spoken about, they did just take Kalijah Cansey in round number 1 out of Pitt. Defensive line, an overall very, very solid pick. And whenever you look at the Bucs' big board, there's still so many great players out there. Even right here on the right-hand side of my screen, you have Will Levis, you have Drew Sanders, you have Matthew Bergeron, an offensive tackle, Keon White, Joey Porter Jr., Sidney Brown, Darnell Washington, Hendon Hooker, Brian Branch, and Cody Mock. A lot of these guys were first-round considered talents, like Will Levis, like Drew Sanders, like Keon White, Joey Porter Jr., Hendon Hooker, and Brian Branch. Those are all guys who were, at least in my opinion, first-round level talents that were not taken, and they could be considered here in round number 2 by the Bucs, who have pick 19 in round number 2 and pick 19 in round number 3 as well. Now, I don't know if any of these guys on the right-hand side of the screen are going to make it to that third round, but I think they are certainly possibilities in round number 2. Most of the guys over there, I feel like, should be considered. Also, Adetomiwa out of Northwestern, he was not taken in round number 1. He was a little bit of an interesting situation now that Kalijah Cansey has been taken, which was really interesting. He did not have a top 30 visit with the Bucs, but Adetomiwa did. Also, Carl Brooks did as well. He may be a guy that is considered in round number 3. BJ Ojulari is still there. Marte Mapu, a linebacker, is somebody that can be considered in round number 3. Cornerback Julius Brents, cornerback Quan Martin, safety Sidney Brown. You know, these are all guys that can be considered in that second and third round. Running back Roshan Johnson, running back Chase Brown out of Illinois. These are all guys that I think you've really got to pay a lot of close attention to in rounds 2 and in round 3, because I feel like a lot of things are on the board here. Yes, the Buccaneers could go with an offensive tackle, but to be completely honest, it doesn't seem like offensive tackle is a reasonable thing right now in rounds 2 and in round 3. You look at the value that is there, you look at cornerback, you look at safety. Quarterback still got some good value there. I know people don't like to talk about that, but it's there. Tight end still has some good value as well. Michael Mayer is still out there. That's a pretty crazy situation. I still feel like he's probably going to be one of the first players taken in round number 2, but the fact that he is still there is wild to me. I mean, there's just still so much talent out there for the Bucs to consider, for the Bucs to possibly move around in rounds 2 and in rounds 3, that they can consider so many different types of positions, possibly even trade up in round 2. If you want to trade up for a Brian Branch, for a Joey Porter Jr., for a Drew Sanders, maybe even a Will Levis or Hendon Hooker, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I think that it would certainly be a reasonable thing. But I feel like even if you did wait in round 2, some good players would fall into your lap, and you would still be able to make some very, very valuable selections there in round 2 and in round 3 as well. So let me know what you guys think about some of the prospects that I named. There's, again, Osiris Torrance out of Florida, Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. I mean, there's just so many interesting guys. Trenton Simpson out of Clemson, man. I mean, it's just a lot of Keely Ringo out of Georgia. Like, there's so many good players. The first round was Adetomiwa out of Northwestern. I know I've said him already, but Jonathan Mingo, I believe, is still available. Matthew Bergeron out of Syracuse, I said him. DeJuan Jones out of Ohio State. Maybe they could get an offensive tackle. Anton Harrison isn't available anymore, unfortunately, but DJ Turner II, Riley Moss, Josh Downs, you know, there's a lot of incredibly solid options, specifically at linebacker, cornerback, safety, not just in round 2, but also round 3 as well. And I think a handful of these prospects that I've been mentioning won't be available in round 2, but a good amount of them will also be available in round 3 as well. And I think that the Buccaneers are in a really good spot at those positions, not necessarily tackle, because after Matthew Bergeron, then you really kind of go on a slide after also DeJuan Jones, maybe Jalen Duncan out of Maryland. You know, that's Nick's Saldiveri out of Old Dominion, Wanya Morris out of Oklahoma, Blake Freeland out of BYU. But I think the real value here in rounds 2 and 3 is going to fall in those secondary positions. Maybe a little bit of quarterback in there, tight end, maybe a little bit of running back in there, wide receiver. Those are really some of the more valuable positions right now that I feel like could be the top targets for the Buccaneers going into rounds 2 and in round 3 as well. But what do you guys think? Where do you want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers target? Who do you want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers target? Position-wise, player-wise, in round 2 and in round 3. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. And look, I'm going to be live streaming again starting at 6 p.m. for rounds 2 and in round 3 as well. So stay tuned for that. It should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be having my colleague Evan Wanish from BucsNation.com with me throughout pretty much the entirety of the live stream as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, folks, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.